Welcome back, Saints Nation. We're getting into some more NECC Valorant action here now, or actually playoff Valorant action, as we are competing here in quarterfinals against Butler University now. My name is Jackson the Pride Brown, joined alongside Danner, Mr. Danner's Banner here, once again back on the mic for game number 2 here between these two teams. And St. Clair are going to take the game number 1 a little bit more dominantly than we anticipated. Butler did put up a good fight there in some of those rounds, but St. Clair just looking a little bit stronger, looking like they've definitely been eating their Wheaties here this morning, so good stuff from the Saints there in that regard. But now heading on to Icebox, they're looking to close this one out here. Now in game number 2, not going to be an easy task, but definitely one that I'm looking forward to. How you feel about this matchup, Dan?
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if this ends up being a closeout right here, right now, because I find that Haven is just such a cluster that, like, you could be comfortable and still absolutely get bodied on that map. I would honestly really want to see if they can clean it up right here, right now.
Do you know if the Saints, if it goes game 3 and they drop Icebox, do you know if the Saints will start on attack or defensive side of Haven?
Defense. They have selected defense.
That's a little bit interesting there. I don't want to see Haven then. I'm going to be honest there. I think that the attacking side start would be much more beneficial there on that side of Haven here tonight. So I'm not sure if I would be too interested and keen in seeing the Haven pick actually come through here. But with that being said, we got Icebox to tackle here first, and it is going to be Saints starting on the defense side of things. That's what I like, starting on the defense on Icebox, not so much there on that 3-site map that we were just talking about. So it is going to be, Icebox coming through here right now, and like you were kind of both on kind of a similar page. We're more confident in the Saints being able to take an Icebox over, I think it was Bind was the last one it was called? Haven. I always confuse those original 3 maps, but yeah, it is going to be Haven that I'm not as confident in the Saints on. I think that they can definitely take it in either or what map, but I think it would be a little bit more clean and smooth out here on Icebox.
Absolutely. Now, taking a look at the starting rosters here for game number 2, going to be keeping it on the same for both sides here. Of course, Lemonade Man, Deathless, G-Force, Firsty, and Icy still going to be picking up the side of Butler University. And I kind of like seeing Icy, rather than playing the more initiator, supportive role, pick up the Reyna. He was doing a fantastic job finding his eliminations in the first game. Put him on something that lets them kind of flourish that. Put G-Force on something a little bit more supportive. Deathless had a bit of a slower game. Going to be on the Sage this time by. And I like the setup here for Butler.
I agree with every pick by both teams here in this one. I really love the Sage Blossom pick for St. Clair. I think Blossom playing a little bit more of a slower, more supportive role here in today's style of game. So he's going to be hopping on that Sage. Once again, Casper sticking with the Reyna. I couldn't agree more. VCan on a Viper to really help take control of some of these sites with his ult. Sova to gather intel and the Jet to make these quick plays. I love it here from the Saints setup as well as the Butler side. I think this one's going to be an absolute bloodbath, but Casper will open us up with the first frag here in this game number 2.
Makes the high ground work for him and just clutches it up nice and quick to give them the play.
But A sites for free right now.
And that is very, very true. A lot of the Saints are just kind of hovering in the middle, and they are choosing wrong as of that moment. Now everybody's on the run. Can they get there in time?
Yeah, this Reyna, it's going to be Icy. Picking up Blossom here early in this one. That's St. Clair's heal's gone. And another one, almost a third. Casper's dinked down. This is an absolute bloodbath, just as we were anticipating. St. Clair playing down now 2 players in a 2 versus 4, all up to Wombat. And I believe that is going to be VCan on the Viper, yes. So they're looking to make their way into the site here now. Not going to be an easy one. Icy spotted out here first, but not able to get that pick. Wombat finding one. Icy going to get the intel on him. This shock dart might work out. No, not going to go, and the pick is there for VCan, so now a 2-on-2, but not a lot of time, Dan. There's another one, and they have to get one person to hop it, one person to defend at this point in time.
It looks like they're at least faking it this time by. Deathless, though, does clutch up. Can they finish the job here, or at least just stall this up? Can heal himself up, though, so that's a definite boon here for the side of Butler, and they're just stalling so much time. VCan
I don't know.
Did take him down, but is there enough time? No! Beautifully done there from Butler. And beautifully done there from Deathless, just to stall that out as much as possible.
I think VCan might have been able to get off like a good gamble half, get that bomb onto half, so he could actually make it a little bit easier and less time to actually be able to get a defuse there. Not going to go from, I don't think it's too much of a concern. Yes, round 1 is definitely one of those bigger ones, but St. Clair still got a plant and 4 frags, so they do make money in from all of those ways, but despite the round loss. So overall, with that Butler with a 1-round lead here, we will be seeing St. Clair still buying shorties, Ghost, a Scout, and then their last 2 players just not buying a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, this round is still anybody's to win. Let's see how it does get played here. St. Clair, Casper, I mean, I think Casper's got to find a pick here with this Marshall.
Would definitely be huge in that regard here, but we're going to already see a bit of an engagement here between the 2 Vipers, but just popping a couple shots and respectively walking their own directions for the time being at least. You see everybody else just kind of holding strong. A little bit of a line of scrimmage going on. This isn't League of Legends for the river, but yet we're still just having ourselves a bit of a pause to start things off.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. It's looking like VK might be able to line up a couple with this shorty if they are going to be walking towards him here now. But if Lemonade Man turns around and finds him first, this could definitely be a worry. There's one big one there for him. I mean, going 1-for-1 with your shorty, I'd say is a W, especially going up against a Spectre there in that situation. Now, they will have B-Site pretty much on lock here now, so they should be able to come away with this round and the plant. But St. Clair going to do whatever they can now to try to find some sort of, you know, entry back into the site, some sort of pick, and that's all it's going to start with. Casper finds one early, but Firsty there for a trade.
Yeah, back and forth here. Casper still does have the Marshall in hand in case could fine line somebody up. That being said, though, decent post plants here. Firsty pops it over, but not quite going to find the shots. Firsty is going to end up finding it. Nicely done in that regard. Blossom versus the world, and I don't think that he's going to be able to take care of this one. And sure enough, Firsty triple kill on that Marshall. 2
headshots there with the Marshall. Some good shots coming through for sure from the side of Butler. Now it's going to be St. Clair with a bye here in this round. Their first full bye in this game going in round 3. And we will see Butler. Let's see what their bye is looking like. I mean, I think St. Clair is going to have a little bit of an advantage here. Usually when you go down 2-0, round 3 is when you can start to have a little bit better weaponry than the team who's up 2-0. So St. Clair, if you're going to answer back with one of your rounds, it's got to be this one in my eyes. This is a great time to really shut down Butler's 2-round win streak and just start taking some rounds of your own.
Absolutely here. It just seems like the last couple of rounds just either early picks. Like you can see right there. Lupo, nice little answer, however. Going to get the Saints off with the first kill this time.
Yeah, and almost a couple picks going to come through from Casper, but Icy going to take down Lupo. Casper almost lost his life there. Now Casper forced to run away. They had his positioning there for a moment, and they still do here now. He could potentially be getting pushed out. He will be finding one on the rain of those, so good picks in a second. Oh my goodness, Casper finding 2, line him up, shut him down. Now 4-on-2 for the Saints. Casper pulling out an ult, and he's looking to get aggressive with it here now, Dan. We're going to see Blossom Casper stack up here now. What a duo. Lemonade Man going to be holding a long line of sight, going to be forced off it though with those shots from Casper. Now Deathless getting peeked out here for the side of Butler. A fake onto the bomb, going to force Deathless a peek. Wombat going to get that pick down. Lemonade Man, the last player remaining. A stick going to come through from Blossom. He's got it halved already, and he might be able to find this whole thing here now. Dan Casper with the 3K, going to put St. Clair on the board.
All right, there we go. That's the round that we need to see. Casper find himself the 3K. Was absolutely clutch in making that one happen as well. And then Lupo finding the initial pick right off the start. Absolutely beautiful as well. Did end up going down, but at least went down 1-for-1 in the end. So overall, good spot now for the Saints. They're going to buy up basically up to full again, I would imagine. That being said, though, for the most part, Butler doing the same. Only Deathless seems to be maybe a little bit worse for wear.
Yes, for sure. So, looking at the scoreboard here now, it looks like Casper having a game here, starting us off 5-2-2. Looking good in that regard. Gonna have a Vandal in full armor here. He's looking to do it once again. Blossom, he gets the Sage Wall off, but he actually goes through it and gets aggressive. I really like this play call here from Blossom. I think it could be very beneficial, but Casper also getting aggressive will get picked off from Firsty. It's gonna make Blossom a little bit more vulnerable to potentially try to pull off a swing here, and I think that Blossom is making the right call, holding off a little bit more, but he can't move back. I mean, his Sage Wall stuck him out there, so he's got to commit.
You kind of got it all in, and meanwhile, everybody else is making their way towards the A site, where we do see Lupo ready and waiting, but he gets walled off right away. It's going to be the free plants here for Deathless. And can the Saints somehow retake this? Player down. They aren't necessarily the ones with the ultimates available for them either, so this is looking rough.
You know what? I'm going to be starting using the Sage Wall a little bit more in my own games because I love this positioning here from it. Really going to slow down St. Clair on this attack, but VCan comes above it, finds 2. Can he find the Reyna on the dismissal up top? They have the intel they need, but Icy is just going to work right now here on this Saints defense. That's a 3K already, and he's looking for the 4th, but Deathless with the cleanup. Butler tacking on a 3rd.
Okay, Icy just got so much value after popping that Reyna. That was beautifully done. Looks like they were stuck in the corner basically without a prayer, but fights out, finds the double, and then Deathless coming around. So much better, so much faster, getting up to speed compared to that first game on Bind. Deathless, maybe on the Sage, was still absolutely a threat, and positioning has been fantastic so far.
Yes, for sure indeed. St. Clair now trailing by 2 and also forced onto an eco round. So Butler, I mean, hey, they're starting to come away with a little bit of an advance here now. It really is an early kind of game here that you do got to get a good start off to the game. When Butler getting this good start, it's really going to slow St. Clair down. But Casper with the aggression finds one, makes it away with his life, but he's at 14 HP now trying to play this one through.
Did also have the backup from Blossom there in the background, caught reloading and crossing a pathway. That is going to absolutely take it down. Blossom did not have the wall like in position for that play. So unfortunately there for the side of the Saints, they will end up going down here. VCan, finds Icy. A little bit of an awkward battle though. Classic versus the Vandal. Not quite going to be a battle in his favor in that regard.
Yeah, and now they have full site control of B. They will be getting the plant off here. Going to force St. Clair on a rotate, retake side of things. But, I mean, hey, Butler, they're showing a lot more promise in this game number 2 than they did in that game number 1. I can already tell here now, coming through with some smoother plays, and they definitely look a little bit more comfortable on Icebox, and the Saints definitely look a little bit more uncomfortable. I knew the Saints weren't going to be as comfortable on Icebox, but I still think that they're going to be a little bit better here than that map number 3. But, I mean, hey, it's going to be Firsty cleaning house there, and honestly, this is looking like another Butler round.
Yeah, Lupo not going down without a fight, however. Trying to at least get some eco damage done, but Icy is going to eventually shut the door onto that one. They both peek at the same time. Got one, but does manage to give the triple over to Icy.
Yeah, and he's got to have 10+ kills now. He's got to.
Almost.
9, yeah. I mean, he's up there so big right now, doing so much work, and you know that St. Clair is definitely getting a little bit annoyed having to deal with them on the opposing side. So St. Clair now trailing by 3. They will have a full buy. I'm not going to say it's a must-win round here for St. Clair, but if they do want to look to have like somewhat of an even scoreline here now going into halftime, you're going to want to get a round win here under your belt early in this first half still somewhat, because I mean, you need to even the scoreline up here a little bit, at least right now for St. Clair. It's getting a little bit concerning.
Absolutely here. This is going to be a little bit awkward to say the least. We do see a lot of players coming around the A side. Casper finds one and doesn't get any damage for himself, so nicely done in that regard. Firsty has been an absolute menace so far for the side of the Saints too, so trying to push out A site might be thinking twice about that one.
Yeah, indeed. And still a 5v4 in favor of St. Clair, but there is a player pushed out on B here as well. So Butler a little bit more spread out here now. They have options, and with Icy just sneaking through, he finds one, and Blossom's actually completely spotted. How did that intel not get relayed quicker? Now this is going to completely force Blossom out of the site, and now St. Clair is going to be forced to play retakes as we do look to see this bomb getting planted. That's going to be G-Force with the plant. Lemonade fan going to find Blossom now. 3-on-4 for St. Clair.
And Lemonade Man was basically just behind enemy lines there. He's going to find another one. Wombat does end up going down here, so it's going to be Casper and Lupo versus World. At least Lupo does find the one, whereas Casper not quite in the position to do so. Lupo is, however, finishes the job. 1-on-1 to finish this one off. Casper gets a jump, takes care of that, and will clean up the round momentarily. Nice little clutch up there for the Saints. Triple going over to Casper, and that will be the second round in their pocket.
Yeah, 100%, a big one at that. It definitely was a little bit closer than we would have liked to see here for St. Clair. It got a little bit scary there for a little bit, but they will find that one regardless. Now 2 rounds trailing by, and they are looking to continue with this momentum here now going forwards. They will be looking to get a buys through. I want to see these buys actually come out. We will see 2 Spectres with full armor here from Wombat Blossom. We see Casper with the Vandal on full armor. Lupo probably going to be pulling out knives here. And then we do see the Spectre full armor from VCan there as well. So, with that being said, I mean, fairly even buys. We are going to see Firsty also pull out knives. I think this is going to be another double knife round.
Yeah, just because Saints won a round doesn't necessarily mean they're in the perfect positions. Oh my
goodness! He gets one, gets traded out. Wombat going to take down Icy though, and what a round! Oh my god, he gets another! There's 3 ult kills already from St. Clair.
And while this is all happening, the rest of the Butler squad are looking to do the roam, and I thought VCan was going to go for a flank. It's not something we usually see out of him for the most part. Usually the anchor, not the roamer. Casper does spot out G-Force. Firsty not too far behind, however, and I think Casper does kind of realize what exactly is going on. So opting not for the 1v2, looking for a better position. G-Force walks right into him, finds one, and he finds the second. Sure enough, Casper cleans up the job, and the Saints are going to clean up that one nicely.
Yeah, really good stuff there once again coming through from St. Clair. Now only trailing by 1. That's looking a lot better here now, finding these 2 rounds unanswered. It's definitely looking a little bit more secure. Icy's been slowed down from St. Clair, so it's really providing Butler a little bit more of a struggle. They will both have full buys in this round. Lupo on their jet op. I'm excited, Dan. Can we hop on Lupo's POV? I'd love to see him potentially get an early pick on A, because that's also where Butler is looking to go.
No, denied. It shall not happen. Yes, of course. Here we go. We got it ready to go here. Can he find an opening pick by chance? We will find out momentarily. Only one member. Looks like they're going to be pushing towards A.
Yeah, it's only the Sova there. I thought we were going to see a little bit more of an aggressive A push, and Casper's been getting very aggressive over here, but not being able to reward it with anything, and the op not going to find the pick. G-Force wallbang headshot onto Lupo, cleaning it up. Blossom could find something big on Icy, but Icy actually was sneaking through. Blossom not going to have that call out for his teammates, and Icy definitely going to be a problem in this round now.
Yeah, because in like a spot where you would not necessarily expect the attackers to be as of this moment, moving on forward, knows that there's probably just one person up on the catwalk and it's in a relatively safe position. There's going to be Wombat finding the first one. Everybody else is also there on the A site. Spike going to be going down, and VCan has so much room to have to run around here.
Yeah, now he is going to be coming from mid, but he's going to get ran into right away. He does find that pick, though. Takes down Lemonade Man. Viper versus Viper. Now 1 versus 3. Icy, though, way back with a rifle against a Spectre. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, you're going against a Vandal. Like, he has one of the best weapons for that gunfight. You don't have, like, a terrible weapon for it, but definitely not even close compared to that Vandal. Now, Ops looking to come through from both sides. This is where things get fun.
I mean, big props to G-Force on that last one, because if there is this position where, like, you're going to op on this map, the spot that what was it? Yeah, Lupo was at was basically the go-to, like, the meta spot, right? So as soon as G4 saw what was going on, firing the wallbang shots, to get the headshot off of that too was absolutely beautiful. Like, for that being one of your 3 kills here in that game, that was definitely like a high quality kill in that regard. But now
Casper on it.
We have 2 ops. Yeah, Casper this time, ready to rock.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Firsty as also with an op. So op v op, who gets the shot off quicker? And it's Firsty takes down Casper. Casper didn't even have his like line of sight kind of like in the right position. He was a little too high and a little bit too like swingy. Like, I mean, I don't like the swings sometimes work out to your favor, but like I don't know, man. They just look so difficult sometimes to actually work through. So that's going to be St. Clair losing a player early. And that's the problem with picking up these ops and taking those angles. Like, it's sometimes very, very hard to be able to work that one out. Blossom going to get the res and Lupo with the pick. So this is going to completely change how things go. Lupo going to get taken down. Now in a 4-on-4, though. And you do have Casper back alive with another op.
Does have the ult, of course. That being said, though, we have Rez is coming out. We have Reynolds coming out. Blossom going to be with the beautiful shutdown in this moment, though. It's going to make them think twice. Here comes the ult coming out of Casper as well. Going to be able to duel the majority of individuals, but having the op with the ult, I don't know 100% about this. I like what they're doing, though. They're going to be able to get this one planted down. And right before Lemonade Man goes down, that's a Viper ult down. So this is actually still an even fight.
Yeah, the fact that he got the Viper there might make or break this round here for the side of Butler and St. Clair right now, because now the last 2 players from Butler are way on the back line. Yes, they do have the plant here for them, but they're going to have to peek if this does get baited through. G4 is going to find 1, tags Blossom down as well, and the cleanup is there. Oh my god! They take down 3 from a 4-on-2 to a 1-on-2 for St. Clair, and Firsty with a 4K shutting it down for Butler. St. Clair trailed by 3.
There's a pop-off moment if I've ever seen it there for Firsty. Beautifully done. I mean, I've probably said that millions of times here in this matchup already, but that one definitely going to top the charts here, at least for game number 2. There is absolutely no way in my mind that they are able to pull that one off that cleanly. So just absolutely wonderful. We do have now 2 members on the side of Butler in the double digits in regards to their eliminations. Saints, for the most part, still being led by Casper, but this Butler squad seems to be turning up here for Icebox.
Oh, 100%. And it's going to be St. Clair now on a little bit more of an economy round. It's going to be buying a little bit more of that light weaponry. VCan trying to just dodge this, but he is ultimately going to get spotted out with that drone. It's going to be Icy picking up Casper as that first frag. Reyna on Reyna. You know, allow Butler to have that 5-on-4 player advantage and use the attacking side advantage to a little bit more of their favor. First, he finds 1-on-1 as well there. Now Lupo going to be over here. Will get a tag with the Sheriff, but can't get a whole lot more than that, as will be Reyna-eyed out and frag down. Now 5-on-2. Nearly a flawless round so far coming through from Butler.
Yep, doing a fantastic job. Icy going to find himself the triple as well. Going to leave this all down to Blossom with just a pistol and a prayer. Going to be a tough one. Sure enough, going to be cleaned up here by Lemonade Man. So The eco round getting shut down pretty well instantaneously. They did manage to get one, but that's it for now.
If St. Clair can find these next two to end off the half, I think that it's going to be a good, like not good, but like it's all right. They'll very much in a winnable case scenario. But if they're only able to find like 0 or 1 of these, then I think I start to get a little bit more worried for them. I think 8-4 is one of those ones where it's like, okay, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not. It's definitely far from ideal. So, I mean, at this point in time, if you're St. Clair, I think you're just looking for 1, ideally 2.
Yeah, the positioning of this match in regards to the score looks very similar. Just Deja Vu, but in reverse, basically, compared to what we saw in Bind, where Saints were up so far on their attacking rounds, but yet their defense was a little bit slow. Now we're kind of seeing the defense a little bit slow first off, to say the least here. Possible Viper v Viper battle, but so far a little bit of indecisiveness before we get started here.
Yeah, I'd love to see VCan potentially find something here. Lemonade Man is stuck in his way so far through that Blossom, looking at what he's looking at now, might be able to find something here momentarily, but Lemonade Man is just completely making his way through here without any sort of intel being gained. Blossom gonna finally be caught out though, and that's Icy. Lemonade Man both finding these early picks. This is full B site in control of the set Butler, and honestly, looking like another round here for them.
Oh, and the positioning of Lemonade Man is absolutely clutch. Looks for the double, not quite gonna find it. That is gonna be Wombat cleaning him up in that spot this time by, but now you just see every corridor is basically accounted for. Lupo versus Firsty. It's gonna go over to Lupo. So not bad in that regard. Still a 2v3 to try and clean this one up, plus defuse. Tough task.
Yeah, definitely. I think if they can just get a couple more picks or something along these lines here, going to make things a little bit more beneficial. But this op from the side of St. Clair is so valuable right now. You're going to want to save that. And now with the Lupo final player remaining, I think that we should maybe see him just fall off here and save this op. I think I'd love to see that a little bit more. But he's going to get caught up behind Yellow. He got shot up, but he didn't get picked off. Are they chasing for the frag to cut him off through mid and tunnel? Something like that maybe? It seems as if that's what they're looking for, but if Lupo can make it out of the way, and I think he only has to live for another 4 seconds, he should be able to manage this just fine, and this should be...
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, okay. And this is going to be them keeping the op, but St. Clair desperately needing this one. They cannot afford to be down 9-3.
And I mean, if they did not pick up that op, they probably would be basically completely loaded on SMGs for this remainder. At least they have enough for a couple of SMGs, a couple of rifles, and then
Casper doesn't have armor.
That, I mean, Casper likes to all in anyway, so you're basically playing the same way. But yeah, having no armor is definitely a disadvantage, to say the least.
Yeah, the Bulldog coming through with light as well, and one of those Saints players gonna be a little bit interesting. Lupo, though, will open us up, takes down Lemonade Man. That's the start you're looking for. If you're down a little bit of weaponry, hey, take a player advantage, evens things out a little bit more now. VCan also with his ult coming through, going to be good on the defensive side of things. It's a little bit harder to use Viper on the defense rather than the offense, but to just get some of these ults off and make things a little bit more difficult for your opponent is definitely something nice to do. Now he's being able to just provide himself a little bit more of these kind of openings through his smoke and giving himself a little bit of an advantage when defending this site.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to slowly make their way over to B. They don't care. It seems like that's this Viper pit is here. They're going to walk out, and they're going to pass like ships in the night. So weird in this spot. They know the smoke's still up, so they know that VCan's still here. But where exactly? They found him. That ult on the side of VCan going to find absolutely no value. They're going to dive on in here and possibly get this thing planted. Where is the Sage? Well, there it comes. They're going to get this thing down. We got a bloodbath the end of the first half.
Yeah, and it's going to be Blossom able to come through and at least get a refrag. And Bomb's actually not even down yet. Icy finds 1, but is tagged down to nearly 1 HP. Lupo, 2 with the knives down, putting us into a 3v1. The cleanup almost there on G-Force behind Yellow. They do have some ults through here ready to use if need be. Casper coming, wraps around, finds the cleanup. That's an 8-4 half. A must-win round for St. Clair. They do find it. Still a lot of work to do going into the second half, but definitely a little bit nicer to have an 8-4 half rather than a 9-3 half.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse, to say the least here. And then overall, Saints on attack for the majority of maps seem to be a little bit stronger here in Valorant specifically. So now we'll get to see how good this Butler University defense is. If they can lock this down a little bit better, they don't have a whole heck of a lot further they have to go here. Only another 5 rounds compared to the 9 on the side of St. Clair. So they could do send this to game 3 as long as their defense is sound.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I think that the storyline of something that we're going to see tonight is just offense wins kind of rounds here so far more than the defensive side. I think that's just going to be what we're going to see all night long. So even if this does actually end up going to a map 3, I'm pretty concerned for the Saints starting defense. Once again, just these teams both looking a little bit more stronger on attack. So I hope this does benefit the Saints here if going into this one and try to somewhat create an opening for them. And an Icy going down early is definitely the pick that you want. Some trades coming through, 2 for 2, and oh, those are shots you got to connect on to try to give yourself a little bit of an advantage now in this one. Butler, Sova gonna get the heal, so that's something that you really wish you had back. If you hit those shots, there's no heal going to that Butler player, and you do actually benefit a little bit more.
A little heartbreaking there for Lupo. Got caught doing the Call of Duty reload, or firing the reload after getting a kill, and running right into 2 more players. Unfortunate there. But Casper and the rest of the squad here looking like they're getting ready to clean up. Blossom knows where the last player is, does finish the job, and that will be the ace coming out here from Blossom, actually.
No, teammates. They each got 1.
Teammates, that's what it was. I was gonna say, what?
Yeah,
they confused me for a second.
They each got 1, so Frenzy gonna be one of those weapons, like you said, yeah, it kind of got caught reloading after the kill, but that's one of the things with the Frenzy. You know, it's a really good gun to go 1 for 1, maybe 1 for 2 if you can connect all those shots, but it's just one of those guns where you gotta reload kind of like right after. It's very good for getting those quick kills and will beat out those ghosts and just regular pistols most of the time on those close range gunfights, but that's the disadvantage, right? You gotta pump that reload through after, and he will get swung and traded out, but St. Clair found the round nonetheless, and that's exactly what they needed here in this half to actually try to, you know, get a comeback kind of started. But first, he will take down Casper, and Butler actually going to be forcing up here in round number 2. Going to make things a little concerning for the Saints, but not when Lupo and Wombat have their Spectres in full force. But first, Marshall has now found him 2. He's going to get traded out now at 3-on-2 for the Saints, but Deathless finding one with the casual. It is going to be a 2-on-2.
Yeah, 2-on-2 fishing's off. We do have Blossom planting in the moment, so now Lupo, decent position here. Still have Lemonade Man right around the corner as well. The peak, slow peak coming out here. They do know where Lupo is. Deathless is right there as well. They know where they is. They just have to kind of spread out a little bit. It's a little bit too slow, nearly taking care of it. But Deathless clutching this one up, and will, as soon as he finds it, there it is, going to defuse this one and get Butler back on the board.
I think the Saints, one thing I noticed from Valorant and CSGO especially is, like, when Valorant players like to get so much more aggressive after post-plant, so they like to peek out and try to get more control. I just don't see a huge value in that. If you're St. Clair, you play back, you play your angles, I think you win those rounds there. Just, you know, not peeking out where, like, you know both those players were there at that point in time. If you could just make it out and play your positions, I think that you'd be a lot more beneficial, but now it's going to force St. Clair in a terrible position because they bought out full that round. That was a round that should be pretty clean up, easier for them. It's now going to allow the set of Butler to look at this, have 4 rifles and a Spectre, where now St. Clair with 2 Marshals, 2 regular pistols, and then a Sheriff. Not going to be easy.
On the bank account of Deathless as well, one of the players that we don't normally expect to be seeing, like, topping the charts of sorts here. So we do see Lupo managing to find himself the headshot here onto Icy. That's actually a huge pick, to say the least. But even if this round does kind of go to hell here for Butler, they'll at least have some backup bank, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. It is going to be a peek coming through, and that actually has 2 pieces of the wall going down. G-Force will take down VCAN, though. Some picks needing to come down. They can find Firsty. They do. Lupo, second one with the Marshall here in this game. G-Force is tagged down a little bit as well, so this is definitely doable. Deathless might be getting peeked out here, will get spotted. Lupo will be popping that Knives ult, so definitely going to provide him a little bit more value here weaponry-wise. 4-on-3. St. Clair actually do have a player advantage. Bomb is going to be getting scooped up, and they actually can follow this one off on a B here now. And I think that Butler just got the intel that Bomb got picked up, and you will see this Viper from the side of Butler being the main player to cut off rotations now. And will he be able to? Lemonade Man, yeah, this is the problem, right? Lemonade Man had all the intel he needed to do this, but with him getting tagged down, it's going to force him to play off this one a little bit. Sage doesn't have the heals right now for the side of Butler. 3-on-3, and this is anybody's round, but St. Clair not quick enough on the B rotation. This might look a little better for Butler than you'd think.
Yeah, and they have the guns for this too. Like, a big thing that they were able to even get that kill to begin with there was having that actual Vandal compared to the other weapons, so it's going to make this a little bit more difficult. But that being said, the Saints have to come to them. G-Force, good call out though on taking the kill onto Wombat. So now player advantage in the favor of Butler, but they just have to find the right position. They do find Casper and dodge around the Marshall, which means it's all up to Blossom.
Yeah, he finds that one early. If he can find the Sage too, it'd be massive for him, but no, just the 2 angles going to be a little bit too much for him to handle. Butler attacking on 10th, and I don't know, Dan. This is looking like a Butler map to take here for them.
So far, so good, to say the least here. Drop the lift and whatnot there, but it just shows how Butler overall just looking extremely strong here on Icebox. They did a very good job in regards to their attacking rounds, and now defense-wise. They're not doing too bad either. We got 3 of them in the double digits so far in regards to eliminations. And it's not just the Icy show this time by. Like, yes, Icy's leading the charge, but everybody else on the side of Butler is just absolutely coming in clutch as well.
Well, first, he's always had some of those big plays of his, and then also, I'm surprised G-Force is actually 10 and 12. I feel like I've been seeing his name a lot, and he's actually been making some very big plays. And then for the side of St. Clair, Lupo, the top fragger right now here for the Saints. So it's something I do love to see for, one of those players that we don't see as much here. Icy and Lupo getting into a little bit of engagement here early into this one. Now 4-on-4 as we do see those early trades come through.
Yeah, they have a rough idea where Firsty is, but that being said, the wall bang going to come on right through. Lupo again with yet another refrag, though. Just been there to constantly clean up whenever somebody turns onto their teammate, so nice job in that regard. The spike is down, however. The rotating squad of Butler need to somehow clutch this one out.
Just don't get aggressive if you're St. Clair. You don't need to be making these peaks. Blossom, good res on a Casper. I really like that play. VCan also going to find G-Force. Now this is looking a lot better for the Saints. Lemonade Man going to get spotted. Will take down Lupo. But with that being said, we are going to see him get a VCan as well. Deathless will lose their life, though, now in a 2v1. Blossom will be finding the cleanup for the Saints, and now 10-6, making this one a little bit more doable. But honestly, like, if St. Clair had, like, a couple, like, just a few minor mistakes fixed, it could easily be an 8-8 game or something even better. Yeah, so we are going to be seeing the side of Butler here now, leading by 4 as we do head into round number 17. St. Clair on the attacking side, looking like they want to go A here once again, but Butler, I believe, on a save, so it is going to allow St. Clair to have quite the opening over here at A. Icy on the Reyna Sheriff, looking like one of the main lines of defense to be one of those sole defenders of this A site right now. And with that being said, who do we have alt-wise here? VK are going to have their alt, and then a few players from the South Butler are going to have theirs as well, being the Jet, the Sova, and the Viper. So Butler, I mean, they could have some openings using those alts of theirs, so we'll see what happens in this one. But St. Clair still looking to come back here a little bit in this game.
Yeah, the rush towards A is what's going to start things off. Lupo basically face-to-face there with a couple of the players on the other side here.
Wow, early plant.
There's Fury coming through. The plant, yeah, does come down extremely early here on the A site. Everybody's still in the game. This is going to absolutely explode at a moment's notice.
Exactly. It's these post plants are going to be absolutely huge. Wombat and VCan opening things up are huge. Blossom finding another Deathless will answer back with one of their own, but will be jumped on quite literally by VCan. They're now Jet all alive. First, you're going to be able to pick up one there now in a 1v2, and Jet's actually 1 HP. So this is a lot of reliance here now onto VCan as Lupo will sneak away with their life, and it is going to allow Firsty to pick up a Vandal. But with little time remaining, and I think that with the Jet from the side of St. Clair keeping their life is just more beneficial. Lupo, very, very nice stuff from him, being able to come away with the weapon still alive there.
Yeah, considering that was basically an eco on the side of Butler, they brought that definitely within striking distance, surprisingly. So nicely done in that regard, but just does a little bit of damage towards the Saints' economy. But at the same time, everybody's still going to be able to buy up fully. Only a couple players hitting the hundreds, everybody else for the most part still in the thousands, so not too bad. Meanwhile, the side of Butler definitely hurting a little bit. Yes, they're in the lead. They can afford to lose a couple rounds, but not the best of positions here for them.
I see this AWP being a problem right now, to be completely honest. I think that... Oh, actually, never mind.
That's one way to do it.
That's it's definitely a way to do it, for sure, to take away that AWP player. So good stuff there coming from the side of VCan. Actually, was that his ult, or is that their Viper's ult?
That was their Viper's ult,
That was their Vipers, and he just completely screwed up his own AWPer. So that's going to be G-Force finding that early pick there on a Casper regardless for the side of Butler. But I think that one was a little bit of a minor mistake there on that defending side.
Yeah, definitely like a minor error, because yeah, they were able to at least stop this. Oh, maybe not. No, they do. Like ships on a night going to pass through, not noticing each other as of right now. But yeah, at least that A site completely locked down after that. Yes, it did kind of mess up their opera just ever so slightly, but now they do have opportunity to make a move here. Icy is ready with the ult as well, ready to engage, knows that a lot of the Saints are right around the corner, and is ready to rock.
Yeah, he's right here and ready for it. Still playing very aggressive. He will be shooting that one out to stay a little bit unknown here now, but he will get away on the dismissal and find another. That's what makes this Reyna so deadly. First, he finds Blossom as well. St. Clair's play is absolutely crumbling as Lupo gonna get cleaned up from G-Force. Butler attacking on an 11th, and Dan with a 4-round advantage so late in the game is just going to make St. Clair really, really have to work for this one here now. Butler essentially is only allowed to get one more round here, and at that point, they're already guaranteeing themselves overtime.
Yeah, absolutely, and honestly, just very, very surprised, especially considering how that first round went. Just the play from Butler definitely showing up this time by, and that last round especially there, that's exactly what Icy was looking for, right? Stack them all up right next to me. Let me pop my ult and just go absolutely nuts. Now that eco problem that I was worried about there for the side of Butler, completely non-existent.
And it's now existent for St. Clair here.
Yep.
As that's just the way these games with economies go, right? I mean, you lose one round, next thing you know, your economy is just absolutely gone. And it is going to be putting St. Clair at a significant disadvantage. Trying to win these attacking rounds, not going to have the ideal weaponry to do so on it. But VK might be able to actually use this judge nicely against Lemonade Man, playing this close angle if he does actually find this pick. But, I mean, this Vandal at close range is also so lethal. So anything can really happen here at this point. Lemonade Man looking to get a little bit more aggressive, but nobody going to be home for St. Clair.
And yep, VK still just hovering around, still trying to discuss exactly how they want to attack this one in here. More so towards A side as of this moment, but Casper maybe like a move. Nice little cover fire there from Lupo. Considering the first shot from Casper did not hit its mark, but they're able to clean it up nonetheless. Now it's possibly Casper's turn to pop the ulti and go. But right now, Butler is absolutely answering. Can they find Firsty? Even with the ult popped? Okay, that was close, but they do manage to get the job done. Still a 3-on-2 in the favor of Butler with the spike currently down. Wombat, man, the cover fire right now here from the Saints is absolutely clutching things up here, but the Saints don't have a lot of time.
And there's a res coming through from Butler, now putting it back into another player advantage for the side of Butler, and with only a Sheriff on Wombat's name, but that's all he needs! That's all he needs! Wombat 3 on the Sheriff! Firsty now in a 1-on-2, and he is looking to do so with this op. Not going to be an easy task, as he is forced away due to that little beacon there, trying to reveal those locations. A little bit of a bait from Wombat, not going to be enough for Firsty to fire, though, and now Firsty's still looking for Wombat here. He is going to smoke and try to stick, but we are going to be having the side of Wombat and Casper here to spray through. The Opera going to be there. Wombat going to be picking up a rifle. Firsty forced off and looking to maybe save here, trying to find the pick, but is going to be forced off to save this up. St. Clair will pick up an 8th with immaculate Sheriff shots from Wombat.
Man, Sheriff versus the Opera. Oh, they still get it! That is a huge dent in the economy there for the side of Butler. I mean, first he had the right idea, but I think Saints kind of predicted that to be the case way before that bomb or that spike was even going to explode. They were already in the midfield, basically ready to cut off that one. So beautifully done again, just to cause another dent in the pocketbooks of Butler University. They're going to be able to buy up basically fully for the most part, it looks like. Maybe a couple players are a little bit struggling here, but just going to be deathless now. But we see a lot of goose eggs now on the side of Butler.
Yeah, 100%. That's looking concerning, but not when Firsty will open up with the jet-on-jet win onto Lupo. It's going to be a 5-on-4 early for the side of Butler, with Lemonade Man finding Casper as well. Those are 2 of your top fraggers for St. Clair. Dawn and out of it. Deathless finding one as well. This is looking like a full Butler round, all up to Wombat and Blossom to a 2v5. This is going to be far, far from easy here for them. They're just going to try to find some sort of value in this round at this point, to be honest, Dan.
And even if they decide to go for a different location here, look at Icy's positioning. Completely flanked. They are going to be stuck here in this A site pretty much regardless. First, you're going to find yet another. And Wombat, I mean, just try to find a spot to hide your Vandal and hope you can keep it, because otherwise, you're going into the last round pretty close to broke.
That was such a little bit weird of an engagement, but Icy going to come away with that one on the Wombat. Butler, match point here with a flawless round onto the Saints. St. Clair's got to win 4 in a row if they want to force an OT and potentially win this Icebox map, clean up 2-0 and call it a day. But if not, Butler is going to be forcing a map number 3. They're forcing it over onto Bind, or no, Haven.
Yeah, but of course the volatility of the 3 points on Haven can make it brutal for basically anybody. So whether you're comfortable here or not could absolutely go in the wrong direction. We'll have to see moving forward if we do end up getting there, because of course Saints not out of this one yet, but it is definitely looking rather unlikely to say the least. Yeah,
100%. First, he will open us up on a VCAN. Blossom will get a trade out, though, so it will leave us a 4-on-4. And Blossom will actually have a res there for VCAN as well. So this does benefit St. Clair. Coming through with the res will actually provide them that player advantage here now. And I don't think the Butler player is in a resable position really as much, so looking good. And they also do tag Icy down and get the cleanup for VCAN. It's now going to be G-Force coming through 2, though, putting us into a 3-on-3. St. Clair will find a plant, and G-Force is tagged down ever so slightly. But, I mean, now this is anybody's round to win, essentially.
Absolutely. Everybody is still within the vicinity. They can still make the play. Just how do they position themselves moving forward here? Or do they just have to back off and save? We'll have to see in just a second. G-Force already 2 eliminations. Does get taken down. Wombat finding him.
The defuse is there from Deathless, and they can't find it on the pistols. They'll force this player off. The cleanup from Lupo and Wombat, though, do the trick. And now 12-9. I mean, hey, 3 rounds actually isn't all that bad. Like, this is definitely doable. But the thing is, you still got to deal with overtime and stuff after. So it's definitely still a pretty much of a long shot to win here. But it's looking a little bit better. We're starting off with that 1-round win. So with that being said, still match point for Butler, so it's obviously always going to be on the nervous side of things here if you're St. Clair for the remainder of this game, because Butler is just inches away from being able to close things through. It's been a little bit of a sketchy side so far for St. Clair, but slowly looking to turn things around. They're up 4-2 in the last 6 rounds, so that is a little bit of a benefit for them, but having to win 3 in a row here now, not going to be an easy task.
Definitely going to be keeping an eye on Icy and Lemonade Man here just to hold off this B site, because this is basically where they've been going. Feels like 9 times out of 10 in regards to actually being successful. A has kind of been a little hit or miss, to say the least, as of late here. Kind of bouncing between 2, but Lemonade Man does end up going down relatively early here, but no committed pushes as of yet.
Yeah, that just really just help out St. Clair kind of going forward the rest of the round. They don't really know how it's going to help them yet getting that 1 pick, but it's going to make there to be 1 less player in one part of the map, making it a little bit more difficult for Butler to spread out and cover all of the points that they need to try and to win this game. Lupo up, pick on the firstie. He's been one of those highlight players for Butler. To take him down in this round, going to be massive here for the Saints once again. Now a 2-round player advantage, but it is going to be Deathless actually getting cleaned up from VCAN. It looked a little scary as he did have a close range gunfight with the Judge. Icy going to get shot down from Wombat as well. Now a 5-on-1. G-Force, all that remains. He's going to clean up 2 though, but Casper quick on a trade. Now St. Clair only trailing by 2. Hey, Dan, this one's getting a lot more winnable for the Saints every round that passes.
Absolutely, and let's take a quick look, actually, economy once again. And I think the Saints might be able to pull off at least another one. Taking a look at this, because they're not going to be able to really get a whole heck of a lot off of this. So maybe give up. It would be round 11 in this situation. Come back swinging right before it becomes the possibility of overtime. So Saints, yeah, they were down by what, 4 or 5 at one point, but making a comeback.
Yes, indeed. So that being said, it is going to now be Butler still leading by 2 here in this game, and comeback definitely possible. It's just gotta make sure they can, you know, play nice and safe here against these pistols, right? You don't want to allow this aggressive Butler Sheriffs to really punish you. Icy gonna find one early. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Dan. This can't be punishing you like it is already. Thank goodness for the side of St. Clair that Lupo is able to answer back, but this is still a 4-on-4 in anybody's round to win. But with a lot of the B site opening, I'd like to see St. Clair play very safe over here. Get this plant down, play your post plants, and just play so safe. Like, I mean, Lupo, stop peeking that. Like, literally play your lives so much, because if Butler comes away with this round out of any of them, it's going to be a heartbreaker for the St. Clair Saints.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've seen Butler try to do this before on Bind, and it did not go in their favor. I don't know if it's just the sightlines here on Icebox or what, but managed to get the 1 as of this moment. That being said, though, they do have the Ice Wall available. They can absolutely try to steal one here and remove Game 2 from the Saints.
Yeah, so we will see a little bit of a bait trying to get some of these peeks to come through from these St. Clair players, forcing these players to peek. And Icy finds one, but Wombat and Casper answer back with 2 of their own. Now 3v2 for the St. Clair Saints, but that is going to be Lupo going down. Casper finds one, yet another 2v1. I mean, this is looking good here for the Saints unless a pick comes through, but with him getting ulted on, Icy going to be tagged down and cleaned up from the ult of Wombat. St. Clair 1 away from forcing an overtime. This is getting pretty much anybody's game here now, Dan, to be completely honest. If Saints can clean up this last one, it's essentially a clean slate, and it's whoever can clean up 2 in a row.
Right, and I don't think this is necessarily as volatile as we remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago where we had the overtime. It would have been on Breeze, I believe, and nobody could win on defense for the life of them.
It went to like 16-14 was the final score or something like that, or like 17-15. I think it was 17-15.
There was a good couple of rounds there, absolutely added to that overtime, and I don't think if we get to overtime it'll be that volatile, because like we've seen some solid defense from both sides.
I agree.
Maybe a little bit better on the side of Butler's side, to be completely honest, though, but we'll have to see. We still have to get right here. It's all down to this round, and we do already see Viper's Pit coming out.
Now, that's going to be very, very difficult for St. Clair to have to deal with here in this round now. It's going to make things just even more difficult. I'm surprised there's still such a stacked here just to be, despite this Viper all being down. Maybe they're like thinking, hey, we could use this to our benefit. But overall, it's just going to make things very awkward and weird for this last round, and it's just going to make St. Clair uncomfortable in general. Firsty finding that pick as the wall will drop. Blossom going to take down that Viper, though. Ult is gone. There's another pick for Casper. Ball play coming through for the Saints. Lupo finds one on Icy. Firsty looking to get tagged down. 4-on-2 for St. Clair. No pick for Firsty. St. Clair looking to force an OT. Firsty going to take down Lupo, though, on the op. This is anybody's one here. Butler desperately looking to end this one in regulation. No overtime wanted from them. Deathless and Firsty all up to them to try to make these plays happen. The wall is going to be broken. The op player is going to be getting a little bit more aggressive here now. They are going to have all this intel. Casper taking down Deathless, going to make things so difficult on Firsty. The first one is there for him, but still a lot of work to do. The second one is there for Firsty. The stick is looking to come through. A swing from Wombat, though. Gonna find it, and we're going to OT!
Okay, Firsty made that way closer than that absolutely should have been. But how about that? We do end up having ourselves an overtime scenarios here. Back and forth between attack and defense now. Who's going to get 2 in a row?
I'm surprised we're even here, Dan. What was this, 12-7? 12-8? Click the tab. Click. How many have they won in a row? It's been 4, so it was 12-8. I mean, that's a good comeback if I've ever seen one. You got to give props where it's due. It for St. Clair there. They have won 7 of the last 9 rounds here in this game to allow an overtime play to come through. It's going to be Butler starting on the attack this side, and it is going to be St. Clair starting on the defense. And honestly, you all want to start it off with that defensive round win.
I mean, I feel like I've said this before with other like Saints broadcasts, but for whatever reason, as soon as it's like match point time against you, there's like something that just gets lit underneath the Saints that just absolutely like brings them to another level. And so far, being able to make this comeback and at least get overtime is absolutely clutch. That being said, though, it's still far from over here. 2 in a row to get this victory, and we see the attack.
There's so little people A. There's so little people A. I'm so nervous for the side of Lupo here right now, and the other players rotating over, because this has allowed Butler to get a lot of control over A for not a lot of work needed, and it's now going to allow them an A-man to find Wombat early. Icy also going to be taking down Lupo. This is just a clean round from the side of Butler. I don't know why was there so many players towards B for St. Clair. It really baffles me. It's beyond me.
That is very, very interesting. They're going to manage to pick one up here as Blossom does find the flanking Firsty. But still, now post-plant positions, and they had all the time in the world to get in whatever position they want to get in for this final defense. Deathless going to be the first one to spot out VCan in this situation, but there's still so many other people nearby.
Yeah, the shots are coming through, but Icy finding that first one on a Casper just going to make things even more difficult. Yes, VCan will be able to find one, but what more can you do other than that? It is going to be that Viper smoke coming through, potentially making things workable, but Icy and Lemonade Man clean house, and Butler tacks on a 13th. Once again on match point, St. Clair must win round, or they will be sent to a game 3 on... Oh my gosh, why do I...
Haven.
Haven, yeah, thanks. I really do appreciate it. What would I do without you here, Dan, honestly? So, that being said, we do have 4 players currently over 20 frags in this lobby. It's going to be Icy, actually, 1 away from dropping a 30. He's been a standout player all series long, and with Firsty on the op, it's making me a little concerned, because Butler has showed over and over how deadly Firsty can be with that op here on the defending side of Icebox. St. Clair with a massive round here to stop Butler from taking this game number 2.
Yeah, this round is being decided within the first 5 seconds, I feel like, if Firsty manages to find a pick or not. Or if Icy even in that regards. But to be honest, that good little drone there coming out there from the Saints.
Yeah, and him hitting that little recon bullet gonna especially help out. But those shots from Casper were just not like you know, his usual, you know, very accurate shots. And with Icy finding a second, this might be it. Lupo with a must pick will answer back by 1. And there's 2 more. Lupo and Wombat each find another. This is gonna provide for an opening on a plant. Yes, Deathless on an Odin. Oh my god, this could be so deadly to the Sage Wall here now. But St. Clair with this player advantage, I mean, it's not safe at all here for the Saints yet, but it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, not the worst position in the world. That being said, though, this can easily be turned. The Odin is a nice little pick up here. Gets the jump onto Lupo. That's one huge pick down. That being said, though, Deathless gets distracted by the arrow, and Blossom going to finish off Deathless as well. And sure enough, let's reset this once again here for overtime.
At that point, you gotta say screw the arrow, man. You just gotta run and gun with your Odin, I feel like, at that point, right? Because once a player starts to see you shoot at that, he's gonna be like, okay, this is the perfect time to swing. That's exactly what we saw on screen there. It's gonna benefit St. Clair, and now tie this one up 13-13. Now, Dan, are we going to see the defending side, or sorry, the attacking side of the team win over and over and over in this overtime, or are we going to see a little bit of a different storyline here? Because I'm very interested to see how things play out, but with that being said, it's going to be now 1st to 15. You're going to have to win 2 in a row if you want to close things out.
Yeah, I feel like that very well could end up being the situation. Is it going to go as crazy as last week? I don't think, or 2 weeks ago? I don't think so, however. I'll have to see if Lupo can manage to find maybe a pick or 2. Actually gets picked as Firsty, going to find the right angle.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Casper wasn't able to pick off Firsty on that cross there. And with him getting now, okay, he actually wasn't spotted from this dart. So he is going to be able to keep his life and keep his kind of position revealed there. But Icy way up here in Tube, just on the other side of the Sage Wall. This Sage Wall, once it goes down, I mean, it could really provide an opening for Butler to get a player pushed up into Tube. And it's going to provide a problem for Blossom. I think that Icy's still just there waiting for it now. Until, oh yeah. Okay, so Blossom's ready for it though. At least Blossom knows, right?
Yeah, and he's going to actually pick up Icy real quick, and VCan finds the other one as well. This does still allow for Deathless to get onto site, looking to maybe pop something, but the nice little molly coming out here from VCan, but it is going to cost him his life. 3-on-3, Spike not planted yet, but solid positioning right now here for the side of Butler.
Yeah, this plan will be able to come through here now in play. Firsty going to take down Wombat as well, so going to make things very, very difficult. And it is looking to be an aggressive play now coming through. Jet from Firsty going to have the knives. Will spot Blossom out on the top positioning. And Casper going to be up there with them as well here now trying to play off this one. Will be rain-eyed off, but nothing coming through as of yet. Deathless finding Casper now, leaving it all up to Blossom. It's not going to be possible. 14 for Butler.
4K.
Oh, yeah, Firsty. I mean, he's been going off all game, to be fair. Butler, though, will find that one now. St. Clair forced to win this one. If we do want to see this one end in Game 2, or Butler will be taking it and forcing a Game 3.
Yeah, Icy and Firsty, not only are they the ones with like the most amount of kills, but it feels like they're the ones finding the critical kills necessary to kind of move them forward more and more in these rounds.
Significantly outfragging the rest of the lobby, in my opinion.
Absolutely. With that being said, though, like we've seen Deathless, GeForce, and Lemonade Man in clutch scenarios do actually clean up, so there's still no slouch to say the least. But now, with one more defense possibly here for Butler, if they can clutch this one up, which they've done a little bit better compared to Saints on defense, if they can manage to do one more round, that'll be the game for them.
Yeah, the Sage here with the Odin could definitely be a problem as well. It's going to be some early shots coming through from Firsty. Not going to connect, but having Firsty defending this B site is going to be a problem for St. Clair. I feel like they really do not want to deal with Firsty. It's one of the last players they want to deal with here right now. So to have him here over playing this site and just watching this angle that's so good to pick off these, you know, high heaven peaking players, it's going to definitely cause for a concern. It's actually going to force St. Clair off on a rotate, looking to go over towards A here now. And the Butler's Reyna is going to be very pushed up. That's Icy, ready to cut off any sort of A rotation coming through.
As Saints still taking their sweet time, however, we still do have the, I believe that's Wombat over there in the corner. Yeah, to still maybe think about if all of a sudden they rotate. They're trying to fake this out a little bit.
I like it.
But can they actually make this one work? Of course, Icy being there means he's going to be able to sniff this one out relatively quickly. And to be honest, look at the blue dots on the minimap. They're coming right back.
Yeah, they're coming right back, but it did allow St. Clair enough of an opening to come through and get this bomb down, and Casper to allow him to come this far into the site, but it's not going to benefit him as Firsty will find him up there from that kitchen area, and is now going to allow Butler up a player on the retake. Lots of util has been getting sent down here now early into this retake, and it's going to be this player behind yellow, a big player for St. Clair to watch. Wombat finding that one early, definitely going to provide some value for St. Clair, and that is going to be some more peeks, but GeForce takes down Lupo. Wombat in with another trade. Blossom finds one as well. 3-on-2, and Wombat with another, and it's now going to be a 3-on-1 all up to Lemonade Man. He's going to go down, and Wombat. Wombat has provided so much value in these overtime rounds and these clutch case scenarios where it's essentially a must-win case scenario for St. Clair. He's clutched up over and over. We're going to see this one now get extended to a third overtime.
And again, it's just the Wombat difference over here with the Saints, of course, with playing the Sova. That isn't necessarily like your fragging agent kind of thing, right? You're usually like the support, you're usually the follow-up, if anything, after the fact. But seeing him pulling numbers as well as all of your duelists in this situation just goes to show, even if he gets into these positions, and maybe not necessarily the most optimal positions, but he's winning his fights.
Yeah, VCan could be really going to be punishing Lemonade Man here if he does find something. Ooh, he does. That's going to be him just getting so aggressive, so beneficial to the side of St. Clair. Finding that early pick, just taking out that Viper, not allowing him to do anything in this round. Icy's position also getting revealed out here in mid. He's going to be forced off. And St. Clair with lots of intel and a player advantage right now, looking perfect, you know, going into the remainder here of this round. And this is a big one if they can take it, because no team has really won a defensive round yet in this overtime.
Yeah, A is probably the best bet here for Butler to try and strike down. We see him grouping up in a second. It's right now it's just up to Wombat and Casper. You see VCan railing up the boost here, trying to get into a flanking position. Casper and him able to get some decent damage here, but Casper is going to get traded out.
Yeah, big picks, but, I mean, Icy should not have been able to find VCan there. St. Clair's got to do something about shutting that play down. Now all alive will be their Jet and their Reyna. St. Clair still up a number here going into this retake, but full site control for the side of Butler is definitely a concern, and it is going to be their two best players alive here. Both those players that have dropped 30-plus kills already in this game. They're going to wrap back. They do manage to pick up the spike, and they are looking at a plant off here. Now, first, he's going to be a problem for these two players, I can already tell.
Sits in the corner, and a good use of the dash, at least get some intel. They are going to be able to get the spike down. No, they're not. They're just going to opt to fake it. Can they get the 1-on-3? Finds one. Beautiful timing on that dismiss. You had literally 1 HP.
Yeah, and he baits it out again. Wombat, though, for the cleanup on Icy. St. Clair with the first defense round win in overtime, and that could completely change things, Dan. This makes St. Clair a lot more comfortable in this attacking round. Knowing that it's not a must-win case scenario is just nice to have in the back of your mind. Obviously, still looking to take this one. This is your best opportunity to take it, but just having that in the back of your mind, saying, okay, Butler has to win a defense round now to force another overtime. This is our opportunity. Let's go. Let's suit up and take this one.
And this, like, not only, like, is this possible game win here if they manage to clutch this one up, this is for the series. This is only a best of 3, so if Saints can get this, they're going to be moving on into the semifinals of these NECC playoffs, but just have to deal with one more attack. This has been the favored side for the most part here in this game. Let's see if they can clutch up.
You know what? I'm really looking for the Saints to take this one just so I can use the washroom here after this game, but it's going to be a-okay with it regardless. It's now going to be, yeah, Butler looking to push, but Casper with an opening pick onto one of the top fraggers of Butler, actually. Going to be just the start they're looking for, but Butler going to be completely over on this B site, taking down these St. Clair players, looking to try to find some sort of opening. Lupo, though, going to be here. Lemonade Man going to get that trade out, now putting us into a 4-on-4, but this bomb plant will go down on the B site. This is where all the action happens now here. Dan Casper will make it out, but Casper going to take down G-Force. 4-on-3. St. Clair with numbers and a bomb plant could definitely cause a problem for Butler. Casper, such a good spot, has so much pressure, finds another. Wombat finds one. It's a 1-on-4, and this could be it. From a comeback to a win, St. Clair's going to semifinals in the NECC playoffs with a 16-14 overtime comeback win on Butler University here on Icebox.
Holy smokes, we did not expect that to be the case with a couple rounds ago.
This 12-8.
That was it was a 12-8 at one point. Granted, it wasn't necessarily the biggest of gaps, but that's still a gigantic gap nonetheless here. So the fact that Saints were able to clutch that one up is absolutely ridiculous, and just goes to show, like, massive props to everybody there. That being said, though, Butler University played a fantastic game in their own right, and you were starting to come back a little bit towards the end of that first game. Got shut down relatively early, but during that second game, it felt like that was in their hands for the most part. Just couldn't quite clutch up one more round in the before going to overtime, and just a bit of a heartbreaker for them. But I look forward to seeing where they end up competing next.
Yeah, St. Clair winning that defense, so massive to win that round there. It was just really just ended that game, really, to be honest. And, you know, I really got to give respect to where it's due. You know, Butler played a great game. First in Icy, top frag the lobby, actually playing better than every St. Clair player. That's where you got to give respect where it's due. Butler have some very strong talent on their roster. I'm definitely interested to see where it goes in the future of VALORANT as a whole and the future of Butler esports, because I think that VALORANT can definitely be a title that they're looking to compete in. You know, they just fall short here going into these NECC semifinals. But First and Icy, a lot of potential on these two players alone. Very excited to see how they go. But St. Clair will be advancing into semifinals here now. Top 4 of these NECC playoffs, looking very, very good. And they're looking to advance here further. I believe the next match will be next week.
I do believe it is going to be next week as well. Currently being shown as the 29th, which would be default day of next Monday. As for that actually being the case or not, well, your guess is as good as mine with how scheduling collegiate is as of late.
Well, I mean, hey, for this game is a prime example of what you just said. You know, I woke up this morning, oh, it's my nice chill day. You know, it's a nice chill day. We're not doing a whole lot. And okay, apparently we have a match scheduled for tonight that we found out last night overnight. So I'm glad we were able to come on here nonetheless on the mic. It was a really fun one, and it's a nice one to always come and broadcast to you guys. But yeah, you do see a little bit of the bracket down here now. So we aren't exactly going to know our opponent as of yet, but we do know it is going to be either Blue Gold Esports A or UTM Green. Honestly, Blue Gold probably going to be the one coming out of that one in that regard. I mean, you also do see Ottawa come through and take their game as well. So I mean, Queen's going to be out of it, and it's going to be Butler Blue out of it, but everybody else still inactive here now. Northwood and Durham, and I think Blue Gold and UTM are both going to be playing here right now. So stay tuned for some more of that action. But yeah, Sunday is anticipated for our next game, but we will see regardless. And St. Clair, GG's overall, nice 2-0 win. Icebox looking a little bit more sketchier, but a great comeback win coming through from the Saints. And that will be slowly wrapping up our broadcast here tonight. But before we do that, Dan, I think we've got to talk a little bit about our sponsors and some of our merchandise here now. So with that being said, thank you to our newest sponsor, being Crunchyroll. They're joining us along from this semester, is just joining us here now, and we'd like to thank them so much. It is, you guys can get a 14-day premium trial for free, crunchyroll.com/Saints. Like I said, it's the Netflix of anime almost, essentially here, guys, everybody. Anything that you could want to watch anime-wise, most likely going to be on crunchyroll.com. You guys can get a 14-day premium trial for free. Once again, crunchyroll.com/Saints. And thank you to our other sponsors as well, as we wouldn't be able to do this broadcast without any of them either. So thank you to St. Clair Alumni Association, Tim Hortons, Subway, and the Zekelman School of Business, and the St. Clair SRC. So thank you to all of them, as it's just a huge help. And Dan, I am so excited to talk about this today because the new merch is in for some of us here now. We got some of this. Oh, Varsity Sports. Oh, Varsity Sports action. Oh, looking all clean. And you know what? We gotta turn the hat. Yep. Camera's back on here. No, we can talk about this a little bit. Saints merch here now. It is going to be essentially the dark mode here of this new Saints merch line coming out this year. We got lots going on here. Jackets, jerseys, dad hats, crew necks, hoodies, t-shirts, tons of stuff. A big order just arrived for a lot of the varsity players and stuff like that here at St. Clair. So, I mean, don't go heckling Chris if you do guys want your merch if you are a St. Clair student. But that being said, if you guys are interested in getting some stuff from acquire.ca/Saints is going to be your go-to place. And it is so nice. Just getting a couple of my new items here today, making things very nice. Oh, I got the... I was not prepared to be flipping my hat around, but we got the nice little St. Clair hats on as well. A nice little Griff logo coming through. And so it just looks all very nice and clean. And it's nice because it's more casual than esporties, right? So you can wear it out to your family functions or whatnot. You know, just go around and just wear it a little bit more casual, like, rather than maybe some of those jerseys and jackets. So very nice to have all of that in.
I know my family teases me saying that I'm a walking billboard, but it's just so comfy at the same time, though, that I don't mind.
Exactly. So that is going to be wrapping us up here tonight. St. Clair, dominant win. Actually, what am I saying? Dominant win.
Yeah, St. Clair didn't do it justice, to be fair.
Very, very close overtime win there in that game, too. Very dominant win in game one, though, I will say. A little bit more dominant than I think we were both expecting. But with that being said, clean up the series 2-0, advance to NECC semifinals, waiting for our next matchup here going into this next week. But stay posted, stay and follow us on Saints Gaming CA on all of our socials if you guys want to stay tuned with some more St. Clair esports updates. And Dan, you got any final words for us here? I'm just,
again, like the 2-0 did not do that game justice in regards to how awesome it was. Definitely worth it to be able to come on in here. Sure, it was a little bit last moment to be able to put this matchup on, but I'm definitely glad we had the opportunity there. Like you were saying with IC and Firsty, they definitely were like the standouts on the side of Butler, but the Saints overall were able to clutch things up, and we were seeing a lot of like clutch plays coming out of more than just the duelist roles on the side of Saints, and
like
that
Wombat was big.
Wombat was huge, like Beacon was huge, and even Blossom, even though like you're playing the more supportive role, able to find like these one-on-one wins was absolutely clutching
Lupo,
things up.
Jumping into this playoff series here now, also made a huge impact. I think he might have top frag for the Saints in that last game. If not, it was like very close to it. So he had a great game. Yeah, very close to it. So great game from him and Lupo overall. But guys, with that being said, this is going to be wrapping us up. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Saints Gaming broadcast. My name is Jackson the Pry Brown, joined alongside Dan, Mr. Dan Spanner. We're going to be the only two here on the mic for you guys tonight. We're the only two getting it going. So we appreciate you guys coming and tuning in. Really makes our nights overall just, you know, staying active and watching into these broadcasts. But with that being said, stay tuned on our socials. We'll have more broadcasts coming up later on in this week. Stay with us, though. We will be catching... What do I say with us? We're not going to be right back. We'll catch you guys later. We'll be signing off for the evening. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you guys all on the next one. Bye.